Hi, my name is Mary Lou Polly, and I am the mayor of the city of Issaquah.
Hi, my name is Victoria Hunt, and I am the Issaquah City Council President.
And today, Council President and I are chatting with two members of the Issaquah Food and Clothing Bank team, which is one of the recipients of the City of Issaquah's 2020 Hero Awards. This is a special award that the City of Issaquah created this year to celebrate those who recognized a need in our community during the COVID-19 pandemic and answered the call for help. We are thrilled to welcome the Food Bank's Executive Director, Corey Walters, and Volunteer Coordinator, Lisa Haynes. During the pandemic, so many people's lives have changed. Can you describe the current needs of our community when it comes to food, clothing, and other basic needs?
Yes. Yeah, so I'm Corey Walters, Executive Director of the Food Bank, and yeah, we're definitely seeing an uptick in need. We're seeing a lot more families who have greater needs than they did before the pandemic, and unfortunately, because the clothing bank's been closed and we've had a big gap, we found that we needed to provide some winter type clothing, and in particular additional clothing and basic needs for people who are living outside. And so that's been one of our greatest needs, and finding shelter and warm space, just even being a welcoming environment where people can come in during the day has been probably one of our greatest needs during this time period. As the grocery stores and the library and coffee shops and stuff aren't places where people can go anymore during this time period, they really needed somewhere to come just to get warm, have a smiley face, feel welcome. So we've become that kind of a hub for our community during this time period.
That's awesome. Thank you, Corey.
Yeah.
I have been really impressed with how you have changed your operations to continue operating during the pandemic, and I wondered if you could speak to some of the changes that you've made to continue to provide services.
Yes, so I can do that. So when we received Governor Ensley's stay-home order, it affected a large majority of our volunteers, and we needed to change our process completely. So we decided to pre-pack boxes of non-perishable items and pack bags of fresh produce, and run a drive-through process, which we did every other week. So the 1 week we would distribute food, and the weeks in between we would pack boxes and also do all the home deliveries. And our home delivery program has changed and increased dramatically to a point where we are almost doing as many home deliveries as we are serving shoppers in the store right now. So yeah, so lots of volunteers weren't able to come, so we put the call out to the community, and I was so thankful that so many people answered the call. And the first week we had almost every volunteer spot filled, which was fantastic. So we did dramatically reduce the number of volunteers in the building at any one time. We used to have around 15 volunteers in the morning, and we're now down to 6. And and that process continues through the day and the week. So we are very careful with the numbers of volunteers. Volunteers have to sign up ahead of time so we know they're coming, so we don't have too many people in the building. But we have been so lucky, and so we are so grateful for our volunteers. Volunteers who used to do one job like picking up from the grocery store are now a lead volunteer in food service, maybe in check-in. And some of our volunteers have just continued to come. And for instance, our Monday morning team is pretty much the same, just a smaller team than they were pre-pandemic. But our volunteers have been flexible and have changed with us. So recently I had a food team go to Issaquah Fire and Rescue and sort clothing. I had a morning team who normally pre-pack groceries and set up the store. They were preparing food for the home deliveries. And one Monday afternoon, I even had a regular team who are normally here preparing the store and sorting and organizing donations. They went on a shopping trip. So our volunteers have flexed with the changes, and it has made all the difference.
Thank you. And thank you for explaining how you have been flexible and how you adapted your operations. I think we've heard from a lot of organizations that have made changes, and I think your organization has been a great example of that flexibility and how it's benefited the community.
Yeah, and so we have brought shopping back into the building in the fall. So we did outside drive-through distribution through to October, and then we brought it back into the building, and it has been a very slick operation with fewer volunteers, but we did spend a lot of time walking through the process to make sure it was safe for shoppers, volunteers, and staff. So it has been good. And so our volunteers changed again. They were outside, wind, rain, snow, fog, and blazing heat, and now they are inside doing different roles. So that's how it is right now.
Great, thank you.
Thank you, Lisa, for that explanation. Council President Hunt hit the nail on the head. Your flexibility and innovation are just remarkable and an example for a lot of other organizations. So thank you for that. I also wanted to point out, too, that while we gave you the award from the city of Issaquah, the Issaquah Food and Clothing Bank's geography that you serve is much larger. It's the size of the school district. It's quite significant. And that community, that larger community, they rely heavily on your organization also during the holidays. So that's pretty strange. We had to go through holidays during COVID. What did you do differently this year?
I can kind of speak to that, Mary Lou. We did a lot of things different. We have a lot of events in the fall and winter time period that we had to adapt. So we have our Recipe for Hope fundraising event that we had to go virtual. I think we were one of the first fundraising events that went virtual, so that was a learning experience. And we had to adapt the turkey trot. Traditionally, we have more than 4,000 people that do the turkey trot, and our community still showed up and did the turkey trot in a different format with us. And then perhaps like the biggest change for our client base would be our holiday gift barn and our youth feeding programs. And the holiday gift barn is traditionally set up at the Pickering Barn with hundreds of volunteers and thousands of donors and a room full of brand new toys where families get to choose their own items for their children. And this year, because we just didn't feel like we can make it a safe environment for everyone, we ended up doing gift cards for families. So we collected, I don't know, probably 15 to 1,600 $50 gift cards and distributed one gift card per child who was registered for that program. And additionally, we grew and changed our Power Pack program that would normally just be on weekends in the schools to every day. So families could come any day and get an extra supply of kid-friendly food. And so we've probably quadrupled the number of Power Packs we've given away in just the first few months of the fall season when we started the program up again.
That's amazing. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. You touched on this earlier. We do have a very generous and caring community. I think we want to help, and there are a lot of people that want to know how they can get involved and how they can support the food bank and how they can support the community that the food bank supports. I wondered if you could speak to what we can do to help going forward. Are there still volunteer opportunities, and what form of donations are most useful for you?
Yes, there are volunteer opportunities, and they change as the seasons change, as we change our programs. So as we come up towards the school summer breaks, we'll have more kid-focused programs, and I will need volunteers for those. So all the volunteer opportunities are on our website, which is www.issaquahfoodbank.org/volunteer. There's lots of information there because there are some age restrictions on volunteering, but the sign up for volunteering is on there, and anyone can sign up to volunteer for a shift, and then all the other programs that come up as the seasons change will be added there as well. If anybody has any particular skills they think we might find useful, they can just email me, and I keep lots of lists of people's skills, and then when we need somebody who can manipulate spreadsheets or fix pieces of our building, then I go to my list and I call on those people. So we also have some remote volunteering. We don't have a lot of it, but I'm frequently asked about helping with remote volunteering. And I do have a couple of projects at the moment. I have a recipe card project where we have recipes that volunteers have given us using food that is available at the food bank. So and then they get translated into multiple languages. So I am looking for more recipes. So anybody just needs to email me, lisa@issaquahfoodbank.org. And their other at-home opportunities are mailings and, folding letters and sticking stamps on envelopes and things. We don't have a lot of those, but when I do, I just go to my list with the people who have emailed me, and the first people to respond get the volunteering. So things are changing, and as we come into the summer, we'll be collecting donations from the farmers market. I'm looking for drivers and volunteers to do the collecting and the sorting. So yes, just contact me or check the website. That would be my top suggestion. As far as actual food donations, we are particularly looking for hearty soup and hamburger helper, mac and cheese, and canned chicken. Those are our top items at the moment, but they do change, on a weekly basis. So the best thing to do is to check our website and go to the drop down that says donate, and we have a list there of our emergency needs, and it's always listed in order of priority. So whatever's at the top is what we really, really need.
Thank you.
That is great. Lisa, Corey, please go back and congratulate your team. We are so proud of you. It has been such an honor and a pleasure to award you with this 2020 Heroes Award. Council President Hunt and I had a really great time going to the ceremony and getting to hear all the stories, and we're just so proud of you and your team. Thank you for being so resilient and flexible and everything you've done.
Thank you. I feel like it's such an honor to be recognized by the city and the community. And, this really is, I think Lisa said it perfectly. It's really about the volunteers and all the donors and all the people who stepped up. This year, it was a huge team effort, and super proud of my staff and just team for being so flexible and really putting people who are in need first. So thank you for your support. We really appreciate it.
Oh, awesome. Thank both of you. Thanks for everything that you do.
Thank you.